Hello and welcome to the Friday Focus. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harley, socially distanced up here on the presentation tower at Armadale. And Dave, we're back. It's good to be back.
Speedway's back. Fantastic. Home match Friday night at Armadale.
Yep.
And a home win.
Yep.
What more can you ask for?
Everything you ask for, home win, some good Speedway, and you know what, that little neutral in you that actually says sometimes you're quite happy when the away team goes with a point. There's certain teams I definitely won't be saying that about as the season progresses, but a battling Bullets performance that probably merited a point, but 3 points to the Devils and positives to be taken all the way down the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's both teams are grafting away, as you say, and they probably did deserve a point in the end, and it was a good meeting, some good races, some couple of good passes, and a race we'll see later on, which is fantastic for first home match at National League level from one of our new star man.
Yeah, so, and you mentioned that, Dave. So of course, as per the norm, we will get the reaction from both teams. We'll hear from Devils number 3, Tom WOOLLEY, and from Bullets number 1. I will try and get through this without saying Bandits. Dave almost slipped up there, but from Bullets number 1, Leon FLINT. And as always, we also have our heat off the night, which this one was an absolutely incredible effort in Heat 11 by star of the show, shall we say, that man once again, George Rothery. Dave, if we start with George, it was a 48-42 victory for the Devils and 15 points from 6 rides from reserve from George Rothery. Incredible.
Absolutely fantastic. You know, it's he reminded me a bit of Calicagisto. You know, he's actually out in front, absolutely flying, pulling away. I mean, obviously he did come off in one race when he's chasing, trying to pass, maybe just a bit too keen, but that's what the experience is, and that's racing at this level, racing at team level, but absolute phenomenal. And this pass was just sweet as a nut.
Yeah, and we'll see that later on. But, you know, obviously, before that, I think it was 4 wins from his first 4 and really set the tone for the Devil. You went out, won Heat 2, packed up the points, and allowed team manager Alan Budzinski to have that bit of tactical flexibility to put him in where needed. And I guess credit's got to go to the promotion and the team management of the Devils for they've got 4 riders on the same average. Any 2 of those 4, could be the 2 at reserve, and to put George down there really is looking like a trump card, albeit only 2 matches into the season, but 26 paid 28 from those 2 matches.
Fantastic. But as you say, for these guys, it's their first real opportunity at this level. They're all going to get their opportunities. Obviously, by the way George's going, I don't know how the averages are going to work this year, but I'm sure they'll move around, and there'll be chances where some do better, and even just the sort of knowing where to be and what to do on a Friday night, and racing at 7:30, not at 9:30.
Exactly, it's a new experience for certainly 4 of the 7, and of course it wasn't just the George Rothery show. Really strong backup from number 1 Nathan Greaves, 13 from 5 for Nathan as Dave's notes go flying off the table, so this will be a test for Dave the rest of the way, and it could have been better as well. An engine Graham one cost him the win, Heat 1, and Tom WOOLLEY as well with paid 11 or paid 12 I think it was from his 5 rides, and that's what we need. We know what to expect and what we should be getting from Nathan. You know, having a star reserve is great, but you need that backup in the main body of the team, and that came from Tom WOOLLEY tonight.
Yeah, Tom was excellent again, looking like a really solid team man, getting right behind the guys. Again, another fantastic pass, and we're talking, you know, we've got 1 heat in the night, but there's 2 or 3 others. Even in Heat 1, you know, I mean, Nathan's a great pass on Leon FLINT. Unfortunately, then mechanical gremlins cost him the win. But these 1 or 2 points have stopped us probably getting the 3 points, but it's all about learning. Fantastic.
Yeah. And I think you're going to have that at this level, aren't you? In both teams, we can point to like Nathan having an engine failure. Berwick will point to, I think there was a heat where Greg hit the front and then came off. And
Bandits came up.
Yeah, exactly.
I did that. I'm the one that did it first.
Exactly.
Both Bullets.
There was the other one as well. So so probably a point for Berwick, a fair result. But as we mentioned there, Tom WOOLLEY with excellent backup to Nathan and to George Rothery, and we took up with Tom for a one-take interview after the match. So joined now by Tom WOOLLEY. Tom, a good solid performance by the team, good performance by yourself. It must be a happy camp down there after that.
Yeah, definitely. It was great to get a win under a belt. The team was really good together. everybody dug deep, I think, and there were some good performances. I mean, George was very good. Even the boys that had a bit of a mishap, bike problems, or had a bit of a crash, I think everybody picked themselves up and equipped themselves really, really well. So no, I'm really happy with all the boys. And George, what a revelation he's been tonight. I mean, that heat with Leon, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
Unbelievable stuff, really, for a guy that, first home meeting at this level. 7 rides last Saturday, 15 from 6 tonight, and there's not going to be many people at this level that pass Leon Flint, and certainly in that fashion, diving under him in such a way. It wasn't because of a mistake by Leon or anything. He was past him and gone. Oh no, definitely, he passed him on merit, and it's a shame the fans weren't here to watch that live, but we were getting excited and cheering for him, and he passed him like he's been doing it for years and years. So no, fair play to the lad, man of the match today. Yep, and your own performance for a home debut, as I think I said, 2 heat wins, paid 12 overall. That's a solid performance. You must be pretty happy with that. Yeah, very happy with that. Bit frustrated with the missing the 2 minutes and making it hard for myself, but these things happen. But yeah, to beat some heat leaders that have been going well in the league and been going well in the championship. I mean, that's my job and that's my aim. So yeah, we just got to keep doing that and come back next Friday and do the same again. Yeah, and I guess looking at the season as a whole, we're maybe not at national league level, but we still don't know what's happening really with the championship. So you're putting scores like tonight, paid 12 on when other teams aren't riding. If there's other rising star riders that need swapped over, or if there's visa issues for riders coming over and stuff, it must be nice for yourself. Yeah, you'll just focus on your job, what you can do, but just keep plugging those double-digit scores in it and just hoping that the phone will ring, I guess. Oh, definitely. That's I can only do what I can do, and I've got to be solid and keep scoring as well as I can. I don't think people look at you until you score in double digits in the National League. So no, you need to be doing it consistently before the phone rings. But yeah, that is my aim. I'd like to get back into the Championship. Obviously, I enjoy my time with Redcar, but no, I'd love to give it another go and alongside another league as well, because the more meetings, the more confidence you get, and no, it's brilliant. So we'll just keep on plodding away and try and keep putting performances like that. I'm sure it's going to get more difficult and some different challenges will come along the way, but no, we can just do what we can do. Perfect. Well done tonight, Tom, to yourself and the full team. The first win for the Armadale Devils since 2005. I think that was since it came back. So great to see, and keep it up. Well done, Tom, and thanks for joining us. Thank you very much. Cheers. We can only thank Tom for his patience here. Our first time, COVID restrictions and social distancing means a change of technology for us, Dave, and never have it be said that we can't keep up with the times. We had a couple of small gremlins to kick off.
No, exactly. You'd never been heard better when your microphone was off, Graham.
But we got there, and fair play to Tom for sticking in, as somebody's nice enough to beep the horn there and give us a wee wave as we're trying to record. But if we change it over now and look at the Berwick point of view, 3 points at home at Shieldfield last week, a point tonight, 4 points from 2 matches. They'll be pretty happy with the start to their season as well.
A good solid start, and all of their 7 riders picked up a point at some point. I mean, Ben struggled right to the end, but got a good paid second place in Heat 14 to make sure they got the 3 they needed for that. And Leon grew into the meeting as well. He was probably fortunate to get the win in the first race, but the way he picked up and came through into Heat 15, he's going to be a good rider at this level, and there's going to be some good battles between some of these guys. Yeah, you mentioned that there. Of course, the Bandits will. Sorry, there we go. That's 1-1. The Bullets will be led by Leon Flint and Kyle Bitcoin. They'll be the two kind of sort of weight carriers, as it were, that will be expected to put the big points on, and they did that tonight. I mean, I think it was 13 for Leon, and Kyle was into double figures, I'm sure, or just under. But some solid backup, and again, I think they'll be very pleased with the reserves. Kieran Douglas was excellent at Shieldfield last week. Again, just solid, gating well, holding his position for 4 ups, and again, same tonight. Yeah, I mean, he's scored in every race. Yeah, looking solid, picking up a couple of second places, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Get a bit of security, a bit of race solid, learn, and the rest will come. Yeah. When you look at they struggled a bit at 3 and 4 in the first 2 races, but they both came on better later on. So they're going to be solid. They're going to do decent this year, and with our advantage they've got at Berwick, they should pick up a lot.
Yeah, it's a solid outfit, and as we've mentioned, led from the front by captain and number 1 Leon Flint, and we caught up with Leon after the match. Yep, so joined by Berwick number 1, FLINT. A tough night, but I guess back down the road with a point, so got to be reasonably happy with that.
Yeah, we can't complain. You know, as a personal performance for myself, you know, I do really find this a hard track. You know, probably like my bogey track, if anything. So, you know, I did you know, drop a few points from silly mistakes, but again, when I come back here with the Bandits, hopefully I can, you know, move on from that and you know, just correct my wrongs.
And doing that number 1 in captain's job in Heat 15, though, you know, you knew you needed a 3-3 to get the point. Gate number 1 made the gate and were never troubled, and made sure that there was no slip-ups, and you've got the point that, albeit this is the Armadale show, but I would say that you deserve to go away with.
Yeah, you know, going up to the tapes, I knew, you know, either if I was third, second, or, you know, first, I needed to pull something out. But in my head, you know, I thought the easiest thing to do is just get out in front and ride my own race, and which I done. But, you know, like I say about correcting my wrongs, I realised where I went wrong with the Heat 13. Didn't do anything like that, and yeah, managed to make something work.
And I guess you mentioned there, it's you know, there's such a difference between a track like Armadale and Shielfield. I think you were practicing at Bellevue during the week, is that right?
Yeah.
So I guess having ridden 3 times in a week and to go Shielfield,
it's a big.
It must be a bit of a culture shock.
It's a big difference. You know, I was at Bellevue Tuesday with all the GB Academy, and you know, that was really wet, deep, and I wouldn't say rough, but you know, more gnarly if anything. But yeah, and then to come to this, not saying that there was anything wrong with it, just rather on the slick side. You know, it was really difficult, but at the same time, although I didn't, you know, max out or anything like that, like I'm expected to, I can happily go home and say, you know, I've learned so much tonight about the way I need to ride Armadale, and like, you know, the setups for my bike. I was saying before, like, I've, you know, fans and stuff might know the ins and outs about setups and stuff like that, but, you know, I was digging in the toolbox trying to find, like, sprockets and jets that I'd never even seen before to make stuff work, and adjusted it for Heat 15, where I think, you know, this should work, and it got me out the gate and managed to hold 4 decent laps. Yeah,
and I think, you say, you know, a challenging night, but when you look at the scorecard on the way home, I think it was 13 points, so you know, you'll have easier nights and maybe go home with less points in the bag than that, so you've got to be happy overall.
I think, you know, there's been some times with even National League and the Championship, you know, I might max out in the National League and score a few points in the Championship, but if I don't go home knowing that I've learnt something, then, you know, I might have rode well, but, you know, I'm not moving forward, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it looks good for the fans to see, oh yeah, he scored this, and of course it's good for the team, but from my own perspective, you know, I want to be learning, whether even if I was to score 1 point or no points, if I'm learning, you know, that's the most important thing for me. Yeah.
Perfect, well done tonight, Leon. I'd say a deserved point for the Bullets team, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Cheers,
thank you.
Thank you.
Back here with the Bandits. Great to hear from Leon there, Dave, and you know what, that's definitely got his head screwed on, not just talking about the points scored, but saying actually it's about learning, and he's picked up information tonight that he'll take forward, and you know, that's the attitude you want from the young guys. It's not about what did I get 10, 11, 12, what's in my pay packet. It's actually going, right, I'm 18 years old, how can I get better? Yeah, exactly. It's all about improving all the time. He's already thinking about the next meeting here. You know, he's thinking, right, what did I do tonight? He finally got that combination, the jet that he was talking about in the final race, which gave him a good win in the last race. I fancied Nathan to win the last race, but he was showing the back wheel quite well. But yeah, looking like a solid professional, will do well. Keep going. Yep, and he did mention, of course, a couple of mistakes in some of his earlier heats. I don't think a mistake made any difference in one of them. We'll now see our heat of the night, which was heat 11, and watch out for this from George Rothery.
Leon FLINT passed away. putting him under pressure there. Look at this from Rotherham. My goodness. Flint lifts and Rotherham goes to the front. This is extraordinary. That really is some ride. He's pulling away. I keep thinking, will something go wrong for him, but not so far. What a sensational ride that was. Definitely the ride of the night. And you would certainly think that Leon Flint would be favourite for the race when he makes the gate, but the home reserve has taken him from the back in sensational fashion.
Incredible stuff by George there. You know, I must admit, up in the commentary box, once Leon made the gate, I'd as good as filled in my programme, but then I've seen when George attacked him on the third and fourth bend, I thought, wait a minute, he's not finished here. And yes, Leon lofted coming to the second bend, but George was past him by the time the mistake was made.
It's clean as a nut, as I said.
Yeah.
It's an absolute thing of beauty. That's what we come for on a Friday night. You know, we've got the big boys coming back again in a few weeks, but if we get speedway like that, it'll be fantastic to be here every week watching the Devils. And then looking forward to it.
Definitely, and we will be back next Friday when the Newcastle Gems, there we go, I didn't say Diamonds, Newcastle Gems come to town, and look out for a preview show for that hitting the Monarchs website and social media and the Devils website and social media on Wednesday. Dave, a good solid win for the Devils. See everyone contributing points down the line, heat wins and paid heat wins, I think from 4 if not 5 off the Devils. One downside, and I do believe we had some issues on the live streaming tonight. I've seen some messages coming through as we were going, so we can only apologise for that. I'm sure if they haven't already as we speak, or by the time this goes out, that a statement will have been made, or things will have been put right, and we'll endeavour to make sure that's sorted for next week. So do stick with us, and we can only apologise again for anyone.
Yeah, it's the first week. Things, it's things are going to happen. So if any issues, get in contact with the club, and I'm sure they'll do the best they can, and they'll iron these things out for next week.
Yep, and next week, as we mentioned, it is the Newcastle Gems that come to town in another National Development League match. Tickets available. Sorry, they're not, because we're not ready. We're still behind closed doors. The stream for that is available. Oh, geez, we've got all the effects going tonight. We've now got a James Bond smoke effect coming over from one of the tractors. They say never work with animals or children, never work with speedway mechanics and
tractors,
machinery. But yeah, so do keep an eye and pick up your stream for that. We'll be back on Wednesday night, as we mentioned earlier, on the social media and the Devils website with your preview show for next week, where we hear from Devils captain and number 1 Nathan Greaves and a member of the Newcastle Gems to be confirmed, and we'll have Mike Hunter's blast from the past and perhaps another excellent heat from tonight. But until then, thank you very much for joining us. Dave, it's great to be back.
Fantastic.
And we'll see you next week.
Can't wait.